Hey, everybody, and welcome back to the Stereoscope Rewind, the podcast where we press play on the past and fast forward through to the present with TVs and movies. I'm Jeff.
And I'm Amy.
Amy, hello. How are you? What is happening?
I'm good, Jeff. Have you ever heard of graphic audio?
I have never heard of graphic audio. What is that?
So, our movie obsession, movie and television obsession,
Yes.
transfers into my vehicle on my 2.5 2-hour drive in and then back out.
You have a very long drive to work.
I have a very long drive.
Holy moly. Well,
But
yes.
graphic audio
Yes.
is like a movie in your mind. That's their slogan. But it's like you are listening to a movie. But you're listening to an audiobook, and there's like sound effects, and there's different voices for each character, and it's so fun.
Sounds like an old radio play from the old days.
Yeah.
Is that what it basically is?
Pretty much, yeah.
But I like they snazzed the name up, though. What is it called again? Graphic audio?
Graphic audio, a movie in your mind.
I love that.
That's their slogan. I don't know what made me think of that just now, but I wanted to tell you.
I'm glad you did. I had no idea that existed now, and it was a thing. Wow. I feel like time is just looping. It's just looping.
Yeah, you'll never be able to go back.
Yeah, early 1900s, radio shows with sounds and movies. Early 2000s, radio shows.
Yeah,
sounds
exactly.
and movies.
You'll never be able to go back. Like now, a book will come out and I really want to listen to it in the car. And like now I'm like, you mean to tell me there's a girl doing all the voices of all the characters?
You're
There's
like,
no sound effects.
You're like, I want everyone to have their own thing.
Well, yeah, it's gotten so bad that I've bought all the original audiobooks, and now I'm buying all the graphic audiobooks of the same books. So I've got double books.
Oh my God, you're going to listen to them twice? Listen to them twice?
Yeah, I want to hear what the characters' voices sound like.
Yeah, and the cool sounds.
Yeah, there's like action sequences, and it's so fun.
Oh, wait till you see the one later. I have people ready to attack me. I'm going to fight them off like they're clickers. Are you ready for that? It's going to be
I'm
exciting.
ready. Oh,
yeah.
Are we talking about something today, Jeff?
Yeah, what? Talking about something? Yes, we are. Amy, today we are speaking about The Last of Us Season 2, Episode 5. We're finally getting to it episode. Finally getting to it.
Wow. Is that what we're talking? Oh, that's right.
Yes. Yes. Once again, I have a calendar. I'm not sure if you've seen it, but it had it on there. So I'm glad you watched it because this would be a very short conversation.
I did. I watched it.
Okay, good. Okay, good. All right, overall feeling. I will give mine first. This week we'll take a little change up. I really enjoyed it. I felt like we're getting to it now, and I think overall I was excited because this is kind of what I was waiting to happen, because basically this turns into a giant revenge tour, and so it's like before, like I feel like Dina's kind of the smart one, and she's the not smart one, but she's like the one that plans and has maps and gets them, and she got them to Seattle, and now we're in Seattle, and now it's time for Ellie to kind of start doing her thing. So that's kind of so I was excited. I thought they brought in some great stuff this week, and there was some fun surprises. How about you?
I felt the exact same way. I'm like, yes, let's go. Run around, start shooting things, run away from things.
Totally.
Let's go. I was like, okay, if we do a third episode of character development, I'm not going to be happy about it.
No, I totally agree.
So
I was so excited.
I really loved it as well. Sorry, my dog's right here.
That's okay. You're fine. No, say hi, Itsy. Hi, Itsy Bitsy. Okay, so I did love they get in the theater, and we will see the theater a few times. So that's like their little home base. And then I loved how they were making their plans, and I liked how they technically talk about the city, the really big thing, the really big something.
I love that too.
They were like it's a really big something. So when we get to the really big something, and we're like, okay, all right.
Did we find out, was the big something the woods?
No, the really big something was that factory.
Oh, okay.
So they travel to the factory because they're like they want to start the revenge tour. So like let's get onto it. And that's when they go into the street and they have that moment where like now I think Ellie's struggling with like like protect Dina, like protecting the baby. Like Dina's different now to Ellie, and she's not sure what to do with it. And I liked how Dina was like, told her the story about when she first killed someone, and then it was, and she was just like, I'll go back, we can go back. I want to go forward, we're going forward. But if it was my family, I'd be doing the same thing. And I kind of dug that.
I liked that as well. I like that they had a little bit more character development with her, because we don't really know anything about Dina, how she got there, and we still don't know how she got there, but at least a little bit of backstory. I mean,
Totally.
You may know how she got there because you know everything about this, Jeff.
Everything. They're changing some things. Some things are different. Some things are different.
Yeah, I really liked that too, where she told that story and it was like, I'm with you either way. And I liked that Ellie was like, what am I doing? Like, why am I putting you in danger like this?
Yeah, and then she took it on like it was her doing it, and Dina was just like, nope, I'm doing this, and we're in this together.
Yes.
And so they get to the really big something, and they get inside, and I wasn't sure how I was going to enjoy them. Like in the beginning, their chemistry was not great. Like it was good, but it wasn't like, there wasn't comedy. I don't know how to explain it. Like I like them, but there was something missing, and I feel like they found it this week, because there was that moment where they were like, we're in the really big area, that door is open, and nothing has tried to kill us, so we're doing okay. And it just, those little moments made me laugh. Like I really enjoyed that chemistry.
I liked it when Dina was doing her triangulating.
Mm-hmm.
And she was like, I'm smart, I can help you. Or Ellie said that. But it was very reminiscent of kind of like relationship structures.
Sure.
Like where one plays their strong suits and the other one wants to come and help. But you're like, I'm good, thanks. I'll take care of this part.
Well, that was one of my favorite quotes of the week. She said, it's more of you're more of the non-school orientated person.
Yeah.
And I love that she just used giant words. And she was just like, so you step back over there.
Yeah.
You go over there. I'll be over here. It'll be fine.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes. Yeah. I enjoyed it a lot too. I was really relieved when things started happening. I'm like, okay.
Yeah.
Let's go.
Right.
Yes.
Yeah. And I feel like those two found a spark that they're drawn, like they're one now. And I really dig that. Like I was kind of waiting for that to come. I mean, they were always in it together, but and maybe the producers were trying to do that, where like they were separated and they had to come together, or because Ellie was so like focused and Dina was like, I just want to stay alive. And now I feel like everybody's just in it to win it or die. Like that's where we're at. And there's just something about that, just plowing forward into the abyss, together.
Love it.
Yep. Oh, and then they get into that one room. Okay, you got to have a clicker time. I thought of you.
So excited because I'm like, yes, intelligent clickers, let's go. Or what do they call them?
She just called them smart clickers. Yeah,
smart clickers.
They were like smart ones, intelligent ones. There really was no name. If there is a name, I don't know what it is.
When he was up on that crate and then he jumps down, and Dina's like, "What is that?"
Yeah. Well, and I love too when she was like, "There's one," and then she looks and she goes, "Wait, now there's two." And then every time they pop up, just more kept showing up.
They're like, oh, we've got some fresh meat in here. What are we doing?
Yeah, what's going on there? Hello, ladies. How you two doing? And I enjoyed that Ellie was just like, I forget exactly what she said, but she basically like told her to go get in the cage, because I felt like she just should have said, because this is my time to shine. So get in the cage.
Well, you always talk about the after show, right, with the producers, and they mentioned that.
Yeah, that's where I got it too, from the producers. Yeah.
Yeah, Dina leading the way, and then it switches because Ellie's the more violent of the two. And I was like, wait, when she gets in there, what are we doing here?
Yeah.
I didn't realize it was like a straight up sacrifice. Like.
Yeah, well, it could have been. There was too many of them. I mean, Ellie can still die. She just can't get infected. But it is funny to me that Dina, I don't think Dina thinks Ellie's dumb or anything, but I think Dina does give her a hard time about just being kind of simple and violent. And I loved how she was like, why don't the one that can't get infected stay out here and you go in there? And I just love how they're working on their strengths now.
Yes.
And then that sequence for me was amazing. They're coming out of nowhere. They're going all over the place. Dina runs out of bullets, and out of nowhere,
Jesse.
Dun, dun, dun. And I do love in the producer aftermath, they were like, for a moment there, she thought it was Joel. I didn't get that, but
I didn't get that either.
I love that they put that in there. I agree with that. Sure, she's all fuzzy and all that
Sure.
stuff. Yeah.
Yeah, that was an exciting part. You're like, who's
yeah.
this gonna be? Is it gonna
Yep.
be? I half thought maybe it might be Abby because of the whole thing with Joel saving Abby.
Sure.
You know, and we kind of reverse roles there where he's saving her rather than destroying things. I thought maybe that might be a cool thing to happen. But obviously it was nice to see Jesse.
Yeah, of course. Especially, and I did love one funny side thing for me was like, end of the world, no problem. M16. Let's just get this guy a right. Like you can just have rifles now as you wander around the street.
Yeah.
It wasn't like, and it's like, I love how sometimes movies, when they're like the apocalypse or something's happening, like all the people usually have like shotguns or hunting rifles. Nope, he had a straight up military issue. It looked like a straight up military rifle. And I just love that. He was like, yeah, that's what we do now. End of the world. That's what we do. That's what we work with.
That's what I would want. We might want to, does no one make silencers anymore?
Maybe not. Maybe someone needs to learn how. I mean, you can watch. They should just watch videos on YouTube. Wait, no, they can't do that.
They don't have the internet.
They don't have the internet anymore.
I'm just saying, like, where'd all the silencers go?
That's true. Maybe Wolf has them all. Because we know the Scars don't. The Scars definitely don't.
No. They're a little more simple.
A little more low tech. Low tech, maybe. Or no tech.
No tech.
No tech.
Little bow and arrow and
yep.
Yeah.
And a lot of, what is that? A scythe, a sheath that you cut the wheat with. I forget what that's called.
It's not a sheath because the sheath is where you put a sword.
Yeah.
Away. I don't know. It's some
the scary hook knife.
Hook looking thing that they would use like an ancient Egypt kind of thing.
Yeah, scary hook knife.
Yes. I was half hoping that they would find him and be like, oh, we don't like the wolves either. Join us. But I think it went the direction it was supposed to go because everyone's our enemy.
Yeah. Yeah,
except
once
each
again,
other.
I leaned to the producers at the end that talked about how, like, now they realize that everyone's dangerous. Everyone sucks. Welcome to Seattle. Once again, Seattle coming through. But one of my other favorite quotes of the weekend for the show, Ellie going, I just don't trust Seattle. Seattle's just taking it on the teeth this show. It's not going well for Seattle in this show.
No.
Not going well.
Ugh, such a cool city, but
it's the Emerald City. It's beautiful when there's no clickers. When you're there, when there's no clickers, it's a beautiful place.
You know, I was hopeful for the Scars because I was like, oh, look at these people. Like, yeah, they're kind of overly religious, but like they're simple. They have kids with them. Like, maybe they'll be cool. And yet they're stringing people up and gutting them.
Yeah. Yeah, because like last week they did the whole thing in the TV station.
Yeah.
And then this week, that guy was just like, that's cool, man. I'll be with you. It's cool. And he's like, nope.
Too late.
You
lose.
0 stars. You're done.
Stars, yes.
And I love how they're all there, and then the whistles start. Like they're going, and I love how when they got to the woods, the wolves were like, "We don't go in the park," and they're just like, "Oh shoot, clickers!" And then all of a sudden, nope,
not
clickers,
Scars.
Just she will guide us, Amy. She will guide us.
Hey, props to Dina for not screaming when she got shot with an arrow.
Right, hands down, amazing.
She's such a badass. I was like, oh, she just got shot, and she's just like, but her hands are shaking, so obviously it hurts.
Yes. Well,
but
I've never been shot by an arrow, but I have a feeling it's not the best thing that can happen.
It seems like it would be uncomfortable.
I feel like I would not like it.
Probably not.
No.
Would not recommend.
Yeah, that's another 0 stars. Do not recommend.
Yeah.
Yeah. So they're going to the park, which is exciting, and then Jesse takes Dina and they go one way, and Ellie draws them all the other way, and that's when we get that great shot. Like it was just the DP on this show, the director of photography, is doing such a great job. Like this episode had so many great visual moments with all the torches in the woods, and then later when she gets into the basement.
That was my favorite.
Yeah, the whole shot in the woods with the torches was awesome. And then you think Ellie's gonna go back, and then you're like, wait a minute, she's alone now. She doesn't have to worry about Dina, and so like now we're gonna head over and see what we can find out.
Yeah, I didn't realize at first because it happened so quickly what she was looking at.
Right.
like I didn't realize it was the hospital.
Mm-hmm.
And then I saw the dogs and then the grass. She was so stealthy. And I was like, there's no way she's getting past this dog. And then she just sneaks in. And I'm like, yes, go, Ellie, go. And then I realized where she was.
Right.
So exciting.
Oh,
And
I know.
what'd you think about the hospital sequence?
It was cool. I like how no one's going down without a fight in this show. Because Nora was like, oh, she kind of tried to pretend like she was like, oh well, you know. Then all of a sudden it's like, nope. And then she shoves the water in her face and then's running. Is like, somebody shoot her. And they're plucking away at her as she goes by. And that was cool. And then I enjoyed the first shot of the show where they talked about the basements.
Yes.
It was. I thought it was a really nice way to explain why that was when they went down. Because when she opens the elevator and goes down, and then when Ellie jumps in, you hear the guys in the background go, "The basement, B2 is open. Seal the doors. Seal the doors."
Yes.
So if they hadn't explained it to us, it wouldn't have been. You wouldn't have been like, "Oh no, B2, that's not good. We don't want to go, and we don't want to go to B2."
Yeah, and you could see Nora second guessing herself. She's like, "Oh, do I get shot right now, or do I go in here?" I don't know if I would have chosen the latter, but it made for a good storyline there.
Yep, exactly. Well, and then you got the whole moment where, that first off, let's go back to like when Ellie heads into the hall, get the people with the people stuck in the walls, and I didn't know from the game that they were alive. So apparently the producers are like, they're stuck in torture like the rest of their lives. So technically,
right.
I think they know what's going on. Like, that's the feeling I got. Like, they weren't full clickers.
I don't know.
I'd have to look that up. Maybe we'll talk about it next week. But
okay.
I got the feeling from the after show that they were like just in, like they knew what was happening, but they couldn't do anything about it or something.
Well, they did have that whole setup, like you were saying, with Sergeant Park, and then they show her son, L. Park or whatever his name was, Leon or whatever, and he was just, and you're just, oh, your heart hurts. But those visuals with the spores coming out of their mouths was like I was so looking forward to that from the previews.
Yeah,
I just thought it was incredible how they set all of that up.
And I said the wrong thing last week. I said special effects and visual effects. I left out a department, so shout out VFX.
Okay, well, I said FX, like the
you
network.
covered them all, and then I'm giving you the little ones. Yeah, there you go. Making it exciting.
Such an incredible scene.
Everything about it, and I love that at the after show you got to see the model. And they were setting it up, and then they showed that shot of the DP with the tiny little camera, and then Ellie, and the show is so cool. Like how they're doing so much stuff practical. Like it's just so cool.
Very cool.
Hollywood,
cool.
Hollywood went green screen. Excuse me, kind of went green screeny about 5-6 years ago, and I get why, but I'm glad that The Last of Us is pushing it back against that, where they're making practical stuff for the show and using green screen only when they need to like do something large, which is,
the
which
backdrops of the city here.
You don't want to drag your entire crew up a mountain just to get a picture of a mountain. There's no need for that. You can just put a mountain in the background. And then I did love the Nora reveal where she was like, "Did you know what Joel did?"
Because we've been wondering if she knew, and she was like, "I know," and I'm like, "Oh my God, she knows!"
Yeah,
and then that would make sense, right? Why she was so mad at him.
Totally, yeah. Like Ellie, yeah, totally. Like Ellie, I lost my train of thought. Yes, I love that she knew, and then she looked back at her like, "Oh, you were trying to like make me feel bad?" No, I knew. And then I loved how she put the gun down, and then it was just like, you're going to die just like Joel.
Yeah, and that pipe looks kind of like the shape of a golf club.
Yep, a little bit of a golf club. Yeah.
And you're like, oh God. Oh God.
Oh, itsy bitsy.
I'm sorry. I'm trying to mute it in between her whines.
It's okay. Everyone at home that has a dog totally understands.
I'm so sorry, guys.
Don't worry about it.
I have an elderly dog. She's 17, and she doesn't know what I'm doing. She's like, why are we here? Why are you in front of a screen doing this and not paying attention to me?
Poor Itzy. That's all right, Itzy. Don't worry. We're almost there.
Oh, I'm sorry.
No, it's funny. It makes me smile. She wants to be on the pod, man. She wants to be on the pod.
She's sweet. She just needs to lay down and relax.
She's the best dog ever.
Yes, she is. I've had her forever.
Yep.
So we're torturing Nora.
So back to beautiful dog. Back to torturing Nora.
That reveal.
Yep.
So good. What was your response to that?
It was the exact same thing, because I don't know if the show had not answered that question. They just had not answered that question. And I'll be honest with you, I don't even know. The game was a little while for me, so I'm not remembering everything from the game, but I don't think I remembered that moment from the game as much as I did from the show. So the show did a great job of being like setting us up to wonder. And then when it came through, it was such a great, the way her face just switched and got angry and mean. Like, it was just like, oh yeah, the Revenge Tour 2020 whatever is on its way. Here it comes. You know what I mean? Like,
so good. And she's just breathing that stuff in, and Nora's like, "Oh, you're the immune girl. You're real.
You're the one. I thought you were fake." And that was a good little grin she gave her when she was just like, "Wow, we're breathing it in. You doomed us both." And Ellie was just like, "Not both of us."
Psych.
Sucker.
I have a theory on something later when we talk about predictions.
Okay.
I'm going to write it down so I don't forget.
Okay, write it down. And then finishing up the episode was, of course, Ellie waking up in her bedroom back in Idaho. And Joel walks in and says, "Hey, kiddo."
I know. We're going to get more Joel.
And she's like, "Hi." And then it just cuts to black. And I appreciated the producers letting us off the hook a little bit. I feel like every Sunday night they kind of bury us and they let us off the hook. And we got a little
you can
Joel.
have a feel-good moment.
Yeah.
Well, we're going to see the last 5 years, right?
Yeah, I think next week is a whole Joel episode. So
we're going to jam it all into one. I hope they jam it all into one.
Yeah.
Because now I want to see what we're doing in Seattle.
You want to see some more Seattle destruction.
Yeah, and maybe resurrect Joel.
Maybe they have the technology. They could probably bring him back, right?
I mean, they don't even have silencers. I don't know if they can bring him back.
You have a good point there.
Ugh.
Good point.
So frustrating.
Oh, so I don't know. I had a great time. The show... TV shows lately, I love TV. I consume it way more than I should, but I feel like episode 4 and 5 is when TV shows turn on the afterburners, and so they officially turned on the afterburners. So we are on our way now to whatever's next. So I'm excited to see where we go. I'm excited.
Me too.
Yeah. All right, let's go down a little surprise moment. Any seen shout out that we didn't mention?
No, I don't think so. I think all in all, this was a super well-rounded episode. We got some character development. We got some action sequences. We're looking forward to the future. We got a little bit of closure. We're gonna, after episode 2, I was really upset.
Yes.
And now I'm actually like, okay,
yeah.
I can keep watching now.
Yeah, you're like, I'm in it to win it now.
Yes.
What
about you?
My one thing, let's see, surprise moment, scene shout out. No, I just loved. I forgot, and I loved the surprise of. I mean, Jesse and those guys show up in the game, but it was still fun for the show. I didn't know where and when and all that stuff, so that was kind of exciting.
Yeah. Oh yeah, and that Tommy's with him too.
Yeah, so that was exciting. I loved that. And then any favorite quote? I have a favorite quote. I had a bunch of favorite quotes from this one.
Let's hear them.
I did non-school orientated, which I thought was hilarious. I don't trust Seattle. Once again, Seattle taking it on the teeth. Poor Seattle. And then the other one when she goes haunted but empty, and then she goes just like us.
Yeah.
Like, there were so many of those sweet moments that I was like, that's what I needed to care more about them as a team. I didn't care about them as a team. I just didn't. And it was like, now I'm in it.
That makes sense.
And they're a team. Like I'm not gonna say I didn't care, but I was like, okay, here we go.
You weren't invested.
I wasn't invested. Good. Thank you, Amy. Thank you. You're the school one here. That's 100% big words. Yeah, wasn't invested. Now I'm totally invested. I loved that.
Same.
Haunted but empty, just like us. That was great. Let's see, and then any okay, so prediction changes or predictions?
Predictions. Okay, so I think maybe that Ellie is the prophet for the scars.
Okay.
I think that someone left the wolves and was like, oh, there's this immune person. She's going to lead us all to whatever. And I don't know. I think maybe she might be their prophet.
Okay. We'll have to see what happens.
I mean, unless they started the scars 20 years ago. And I don't know. It's just a small theory.
No, I like it. It's always fun to think about it, see what happens. We'll let it unfold.
Okay, well, that's my only theory, so.
No, I love that.
I'm just along for the ride at this point. And staying off the internet.
Stay off the internet.
So people don't talk about the game.
Yeah, when we started recording these, our time between viewing and recording was a lot longer. And as the show has been airing, it's been getting closer and closer and closer. Because we want to watch it now, because we don't want to get ruined.
Watch it right away.
Yeah, we don't want to get ruined.
Good job, us.
Yay, team. High five. Oh, we're so good at this. We're so good at this. It's quality television. Quality television.
We're awesome.
You know,
I'm not worried about it.
I think we're awesome too.
Thanks for keeping me on track today, Jeff.
Oh, no, I love it. Every time I do this, we learn something new.
Yeah.
All right. Okay, so here we go. We're gonna sign it up. We're gonna be like, here's my little ending speech. I'm working on.
Do it, Jeff.
You ready for an ending speech?
Do it. I'm gonna mute myself so my dog's not whining in the background.
We gotta try this out and see if it works.
Go.
If you enjoyed today's episode, don't forget to like and subscribe and leave us a rating or a review on your favorite podcast app. It helps more listeners find the show, and we love hearing your feedback. All right, Amy, you know what to do. Sign us off.
Toodaloo.